you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not enough. People are willing to take the risk. It's just sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Dreamt I was naked and I shaved my head. But that wasn't hard to do. When I awoke to what I thought was a dragon's breath, but then I saw it was you. And all these feelings inside my mind, well, they don't waste no time. And these thoughts running through my head, they make me feel like I'm some kind of foreigner. I went to the valley just to take a stroll and see what I could find. Just a thought or a memory that could slow my roll. Please God, just give me a sign. 'Cause all this dirt underneath my nails, well, darling, it never fails to remind me of who I was.
friends, the time for mediocrity and broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to The Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock, online at TonyJones.org, Facebook.com/The Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to RIFreeRadio.org for all your web entertainment needs. Great to be here with you. Of course, at the top of the hour, I have to thank everybody who was part of the Rhode Island Free Radio second year anniversary last week. Rocky Point Clam Shack, great family day out. Good time was had by all. The weather held up for us. The night before DJ Psycho Eddie, I had to make that white-knuckling call. Do we cancel? Which, if I canceled, I would have looked like a total jerk because the weather was perfect the next day. Or must the show go on? And the show went on, and luckily for me, I actually was able to make the right decision.
Well, fortunately, you did make the right decision. However, I would have probably yelled at you because I had, without a word of exaggeration, 6 different weather websites, WeatherBug, and like, honestly, I was perusing the weather for at least 2 to 3 hours out of the day before.
And it's interesting because the owners of the Rocky Point Clam Shack had asked me, will you be canceling? And I was thinking to myself, I should really be asking Eddie if we're canceling because he's the guy out there with $5,000 worth of equipment. If one of those New England microbursts come through, we're going to be a little screwed.
Well, I did prepare ahead of time. This is not my first rodeo outdoors. I have a bunch of garbage bags, contractor bags, which fit perfectly over the speakers. The only thing that really would have taken any type of damage would have been my laptop, which of course would have been in the bag as soon as I even smelled rain.
Which we had to utilize at the Paracon. Yes. Nothing says it's about to rain out like just grabbing a bunch of hefty bags and throwing them over all the equipment.
No, I actually keep a bunch of contractor bags, a box of contractor bags in my gear at all times. If I'm outdoors at all, I have to keep them with me because I am neurotic with that stuff.
As the Boy Scouts say, be prepared.
Be prepared.
Well, in just a little bit, we're going to talk about manure. Eddie, did you hear about this story in Exeter?
Yes, actually I have.
Well, it hit very close to home because I am in the process of helping George Garner out with his wedding, as I'll be serving as his best man. And we do have a date for George Garner's last gasp bachelor extravaganza. It's going to be October 8th at Firehouse 13 in Providence. And no, you're all invited. It's going to be a free show. Everybody's welcome to come out. It's going to be a great horror-themed evening. George would have it no other way than having bands like Dead Girls Don't Say No, Wolfman Chuck, and the Brimstone Boys, and Necrophiliac Meat Circus for his bachelor party. So it's going to be a blast.
I got to say, I've already been making a few phone calls just to make sure, because I noticed you ended this event at midnight, which leaves 2 hours of quality drinking and or entertainment time.
That's right. Do you remember that old song from the 70s? We got a mighty convoy.
Well, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. I'm not going to mention what. However, there are extracurricular activities taking place immediately following. You have to be there to find out.
And, I've decided that I'm going to need a designated driver that night, which for health reasons, for the most part, I've largely quit drinking. I'll have maybe one beer a week. Actually, usually it's here on Sundays. I'll enjoy my weekly beer. Not for lack of wanting to drink, but for health reasons. Yes, hear that sound. The famous Narragansett beer. But I've decided I will need a designated driver. I'll need a ride home after George Garner's.
I don't have a problem doing that. I got the equivalent of a residential school bus. I could hold about 8 people in there, even larger people. I've tried this out already.
Especially larger women.
I cannot partake. I am a married man. However, if you guys are willing, I will be more than happy to be the designated driver.
There's some Uber driver right now just thanking the Uber gods that you said that, because he's not going to pull up to me rip-roaring drunk on the streets of Providence on a Saturday night.
Excuse me, sir. I cannot be your Uber driver. You're too large to fit.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. I think I may have mentioned it on your show, but I'm not sure. But I go to Newport quite a bit. It's kind of like a nice change of pace from Providence. It's very close to me. I'm just over the bridges, and very popular in Newport right now is pedicabs, almost the equivalent of a rickshaw, where it's this dude on a bike and a few seats in the back, and they'll take you where you want to go. And I swear to God, when those pedicab drivers are queued up and they see me walking, they're thinking, please don't let this guy get in my pedicab, for the love of God.
Well, it's either you or a family of 4. Take your pick.
I probably weigh just a little bit more than a family of 4.
I think we're neck and neck on that one.
All right, let's go back to the music. Band that was in studio the last time we were here, and great feedback from their appearance. The first time I've ever gotten fan mail from someone's mother. Yes, Roger's mother, while we were on the air, messaged in here and told me, thank you for having 1031 on the show. Of course, if you go to facebook.com/Tony Jones Show and on Twitter @TonyJonesNRI, if you're catching me live, I do monitor the social media accounts throughout the program. And yes, that was my first time ever getting mail from someone's mother. They're going to have a big show October 15th at the Riverside Sportsman Association in East Providence, Rhode Island. We're going to have a double shot of 1031 up next for you, starting with Han. That feeds You Heard It Here First on The Tony Jones Show.
Ride the tide of lullaby, seek the truth from deep inside. Do you
I Will Not Drown, the name of that one from 1031 off of the EP Trick or Treat. A double shot at 1031. Before that, we heard Hand That Feeds, 1031, a band that was in this studio just a few weeks ago, and a band who I feel absolutely just nailed it out of the park on their debut EP. Been spinning it here, been spinning it in the car, and in full disclosure, RJ Gregory and I go way back. He was a drummer for Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, but nonetheless, even if I didn't know any members of the band, I would still think that that was a killer EP. Now, don't forget, October 15th at the Riverside Sportsman Association, East Providence, Rhode Island. You can check those guys out for their first ever Halloween party. Up next, a band, in my opinion, one of the most underrated bands of all times, with one of the most killer bass lines of all time. Just this band needs much more love and respect than they currently get, but I digress. We're going to hear from the Smithereens up next. Listen to that bass line on Blood and Roses right here on the Tony Jones Show.
Yesterday, saw you standing in the rain. Then I heard you say, I want to love, but it comes out wrong. I want to live, but I don't belong. I close my eyes and I see blood and roses. Flowers in the springtime. October we were wed. Wintertime the roses died. The blood ran cold and then she said, I want to love but it comes out wrong. I want to live but I don't belong. I close my eyes and I see blood and roses.
Little Smithereens right here on the Tony Jones Show. Blood and Roses, the name of the track you've just heard. Don't worry, I didn't forget. We're going to talk about the Exeter manure story in just a bit. You know, we have a lot of people who nationally and internationally listen to this show, and I don't think they really quite understand just how quirky Rhode Island is, and it's a very unique place. You know, most people think of Rhode Island, they think of Providence, but Rhode Island actually has rolling hills of farmland, and 15, 20 minutes later, you can be in the thick of a city like Providence or the thick of a city like Central Falls, for instance. And, sometimes they overlap, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit, right after a double shot of Michael Graves. He's going to be at Firehouse 13 on Sunday, October 18th, which means when we wrap things up here and I'm done pressing buttons and editing everything and uploading everything, I'll be heading down to Firehouse 13 to see Michael Graves back on tour. The man doesn't stop. We're going to hear two up next, starting with Dead Man right here on The Tony Jones Show.
Cold and wind was howling by cemetery high. Fear was sending shivers down my spine when I was passing by. Oh, heavy glow of food on the rise above the broken cliff. Oh, open door and dead hand in the light is reaching out for me. Deadly sight from a swollen eyelid stand upon me through the dark. He will never be a man again, and with so much light. Oh, heavy glow of food on the rise above the broken cliff. Oh, open door and dead hand in the light is reaching up for me. Yeah.
Off of Night of Samhain 2 from Michael Graves, Scarecrow, the name of that one. Before that, we heard Dead Man, again playing October 18th at Firehouse 13 in Providence, Rhode Island. Back out on tour, of course. Be sure to look for Michael Graves online on Facebook. And check out the tour schedule if you're not local. He's really hitting it hard on this tour. And yes, at this point, every once in a while here on the Tony Jones Show, we raise the bar in alternative media. We raise the bar in broadcasting. And once in a while, we lower the bar. And that's what we're going to do right now. DJ Psycho Eddie, did you hear about this story? In Exeter, Rhode Island. Now, if you're not familiar with Exeter, it's a rural area. It's farmlands and trailer parks. And
Just to the left of God's country.
It's God's country, exactly. An Exeter man claims his neighbor dumped a large pile of manure close where their properties meet. Gerald is marketing the land he owns on Narrow Lane in Exeter as Gerald's Farm. So he's trying to build a wedding venue, an events venue, agri entertainment, which is really big right now. His neighbor found the biggest pile of manure possible. And according to the guy that owns Gerald's farm, his quote is that it's a ripe, raw chicken waste, and he dumped this pile of manure mere feet away from where he's trying to build this venue. And said venue had a wedding scheduled for this past Saturday. The manure showed up Friday night. I've been lucky. I've had some pretty good neighbors over the years, but this is Hatfield's and McCoy's style. Not only to ruin Gerald's farm, but these poor people that booked the place. This story is from Friday, so I can only assume the wedding didn't happen yesterday. But
no, actually, the wedding is slated for this coming Saturday.
Oh, okay.
But as I read it, and I understand both sides of the story, the guy who's running this farm, who wants to turn it into a business, he doesn't want to actually farm the land. He wants to keep it as pristine as possible and give a nice rural agricultural feel to a wedding.
Right.
However,
which is big right now for some reason.
His neighbors don't want all the added influx of people and cars up and down the road.
Chances are, if you've decided to move to an Exeter or a West Greenwich or something along those lines, there's a reason, right? You want to be left alone.
You want to be borderline on antisocial. I want to go there. So
you want to build a bunker in your backyard.
So I understand. The neighbor just does not want him to have this venue right next door to his house. However, getting a large tractor full of chicken waste and dropping it mere feet from where this union is supposed to take place, I as a former groomsman myself, as a former, having going through all these weddings, that would be such a negative aspect. Hey, honey, I really love you, and I want to show how much I love you, next to a large pile of crap.
Now, where does one get a large truck full of chicken manure?
Any place that farms chickens.
Sure, they're probably willing to give it to you, right? You don't even have to pay.
No, it is absolutely horrendous, the smell. As a child, my parents tried to do the backyard garden because I'm the youngest of 5, and if you look at me, we're not small. So they tried to subsidize their food bill by growing their own vegetables during the summer. And we had to pick up a load of said chicken manure. And mind you, we had the prepackaged, pasteurized, descentified, whatever you want to call it, chicken manure, and we still had to keep the windows open, and I was gagging out the window.
Well, I guess, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and if you don't want a venue next to your house, laying down a pile of manure, it's one way to go about it. This story literally made me laugh out loud when I heard it originally. I was cracking up.
No, I have neighbors that, I don't know if it's fear or respect, but they let me do my own thing. But I also have a stockade fence around my yard, so you really can't tell what's going on back there. Yeah. I try not to be that obtrusive into the neighborhood. The only time you really know I'm there is when I start up my truck or my motorcycle. And I just can't imagine having someone that disgruntled with me that they're going to go out of their way to scoop a couple 100 pounds of crap and drop it right next to my property.
If you have good neighbors, say a little blessing for them today. The music continues now. We're going to have, if you can believe it, a double shot from the Evil Streaks up next for you, starting off with The Curse right here on The Tony Jones Show.
It's time to reflect back and look ahead. There's a pumpkin carving party tonight when the dead are not dead. The faces carved in skin. Everyone else won't let me in. Jack-o'-lanterns are glowing bright. There's a pumpkin carving party tonight. Wow! I made a deal with the devil. Now he's not too pleased. Now I roam the earth for eternity. That's a pumpkin carving party tonight. That's a pumpkin carving party tonight. That's a pumpkin carving party every night for me.
The Evil Streaks right here on the Tony Jones Show, coming out of Two From Them. Yes, one of our favorite bands around here. You just heard Pumpkin Carving Party. And before that, The Curse right here on the Tony Jones Show. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to rifreeradio.org. Click on the contact page, or go to tonyjones.org. Click on the contact page if you'd like to be in studio, or if you have music for us, be sure to get it to us. Of course, fall always a busy season around here, and it's pretty busy between now and the end of the year. I'll talk about a few more shows before we wrap things up. On Saturday, September 17th, you have two choices for entertainment that I'd like to bring to your attention. But coming up next, this next block, we pride ourselves on playing a lot of different types of music. So we have what could be two of the most polar opposite groups that we play here. So we'll start off with a double shot from Whisky, Fyre, and then we'll have a double shot from Meaghan Casey. Music you'll hear here on the Tony Jones Show.
We
to get you. Stay, remain in your place. Burn the evidence. Hide no violence. This is your punishment. This is your punishment. This is your punishment. This is your punishment. Gifted one, you free the world. Let us all pretend we are not evil. Down the spine, it creeps through the wall. Vision, you are who you say. Sleep the night with peaceful dreams. Real slave. Gifted one, you freed the world. Let us all pretend we are not evil. Change your mind, you're back to the same stupid smile that gets you nowhere. See the light that people say we'll break. Gifted one, you freed the world. Let us all pretend we are not evil. We are evil. Yes, we are evil. We are evil. Yes, we are evil. I'm guilty, I'm guilty, I'm guilty. Selfish lies, the better days. Spit the words I put in his face. You can change your altered state. Gifted one, you freed the world. Let us all pretend we are not evil. We seek, we bleed, we conquer. We burn with a rapid fire to make amends relinquish all the hate. Not evil.
most of them were true. They were all just rivers and lakes, but the ocean was you. So we'll be riding, we'll be riding, we'll be riding, we'll be riding. Well, I was born right from the devil's head. He said, well, I ain't never gonna be lonely again. I need me a partner, and I'll need her in red to be the finest thing you see, and I'll be the only thing she believes. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be your girl. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'd be losing me too. Do the devil's work and I'll do it for free. As long as you can always love a girl like me. Call me sin and I've been waiting for you to. Tempting desire, so it's just a brush of fire. Well, don't be scared. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be all yours. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be losing me too. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be
Girl
losing
Named Sin,
me.
the name of that one. Some Meaghan Casey right here on the Tony Jones Show. Coming out of a double-double, because right here on the Tony Jones Show, you're going to hear some of the most diverse music around. No, you're not going to hear the same 5 or 6 songs over and over and over and over again. You'll hear music like that. We heard a double shot from Meaghan Casey, A Girl Named Sin. Before that, Sea Monsters. I think the first time banjos have ever been played here on the Tony Jones Show. And then before that, we had a double shot from Whisky, Fyre, starting off with Punishment and then going into Not Evil. You heard it all here on the Tony Jones Show. And with that, I am just about out of time because the song I want to play last is actually 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Once again, you're not going to hear 7, almost 8-minute songs on terrestrial radio, but you will hear them here on the Tony Jones Show. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to TonyJones.org and RIFreeRadio.org. DJ Psycho Eddie, thank you for weighing in on these most important topics.
Always a pleasure.
Of manure. And, well, I hope you could check us out next week because we're going to be talking a little wrestling. Always very popular around here. We're going to be talking a little wrestling, professional wrestling that is, here on the Tony Jones Show. We're going to leave here with a little blind revision. This track, Fight or Flight. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Inside